with another update. It has been a couple of weeks since I've last filmed. I just wanted to come on and say that I am finally going to get my MRI that I have been needing for almost a year now, and I am so anxious. Um, Actually, I've been supposed to have an MRI for about 15 years, but in the past year I had a whole new onset of symptoms, so I really need this MRI now, and I am so anxious. I have severe claustrophobia, so I decided to go private, and my parents are going to help support me to get this MRI, and it's in 1 week. It's an upright open MRI, so you're sitting up, and it's a little bit less claustrophobic because I already tried a lying down open MRI and that totally freaked me out. So we'll see how it goes. My mum said she would come in with me, so I'm hoping if my mum's there, I'll be able to get through it a lot more easily. Honestly, I feel like the worst thing about the day is going to be having to bring my 10-month-old in the car for an hour and a half there and an hour and a half back because she usually starts crying after 3 minutes in the car, but she's exclusively breastfed, so I don't have another option. It's strange, like, I moved back to England to try to finally get some answers as to what was causing my neurological symptoms, and now that I'm almost there, I have this wave of dread because if I find out something bad, I don't really know how I'm going to deal with it. Um, I've had headaches my whole life, but I'd say the past couple of months I've had like some pretty severe ones, and they've become more positional. And a positional headache is basically where if you bend or stand up or sneeze or cough or anything like that where you like move your head suddenly, you feel like you're being stabbed violently in the brain. It's like I can't even describe the pain. And I've started having these headaches where like I'll lie down and I won't have a headache, and then suddenly I'll stand up or move and it's like I'm being brutally stabbed. And I've looked up positional headaches and they're not normal. Like, they're really not normal. And I found like the only causes for it are like CSF leaks, which is where there's like a hole in your spine or brain. It doesn't sound as bad, it's not as bad as it sounds, but basically some spinal fluid leaks out and your brain sinks a little bit. It's pretty much like the same thing as the epidural headache, where like when they put a hole in your spine to give you the epidural when you have a baby, you get a horrible headache from the spinal fluid seeping out and like your brain can sink. Um, and another cause is benign intracranial hypertension, which is along the same lines, which basically there's heightened pressure in your brain and you can have CSF leaks. Um, I've had positional headaches on and off my whole life, so it's not a new thing, but I feel like they've become a bit more regular and more painful recently. Um, and then I have had like the tingling in the left side of my face come and go, but other than that, I've been okay recently. The only thing is that I still have permanent static vision, um, visual snow, whatever you want to call it. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna finally get the MRI in a week, and I don't know how quickly my doctor will give me the results. I'm really hoping it's fast, and then when I make my next video, I will have a diagnosis. Part of me is like, I hope they find nothing, but another part of me is like, I want answers. And then the other part of me is like, I really don't want bad answers. Um, I think that I might have multiple sclerosis. This is what doctors have thought, but because I go through periods where I don't really have symptoms, which you do get with multiple sclerosis. You can go a year with no symptoms. It kind of makes me think, oh, well, maybe I'm fine, maybe I don't have it, but then I'll suddenly have a weird symptom. But if I find out it's multiple sclerosis, like, that's gonna be, like, horrible to find out, but it's not the worst thing in the world. And I wouldn't be shocked. I know multiple sclerosis isn't like what would be causing the headaches. I think there's like different things going on. Like I think one thing is like headaches, and then the other thing is like the dead patches and the visual symptoms. Um, but yeah, so my worst fear going in for this MRI is if I find out that I have a brain tumor, a pituitary tumor, or an aneurysm. Those are my worst fears because aneurysms are really scary. Like you just kind of drop dead out of nowhere if it like bursts. And then if it doesn't burst and you just find out you have one, then you kind of have to walk around knowing you could die at any second, which, I don't know, sucks. And obviously a pituitary tumor is where the pituitary gland in your head, which is near the optic nerve, can be enlarged. It's a hormonal type tumor that needs removing through brain surgery usually, and it can cause visual symptoms from pressing on the optic nerve. And I'm pretty anxious, like, if that's the case, because that was something that a doctor thought was possible. And, like, one of my worst fears is, like, surgery, especially brain surgery. And then, of course, the worst thing that it could be would be, like, a brain tumor. But that is very unlikely because I've had symptoms for so long that get better and then get worse and then get better and then worse. So, typically, with a malignant brain tumor, things would get worse. Sorry, I have a hiccup. So, I'm also, of course, anxious for the actual MRI experience. I have a permanent wire in my mouth, and I've heard metal can feel like warm in your mouth during the MRI, and it can also cause hemifacial spasm, which I already have to an extent, but basically twitching in your temples and face from the magnetic resonance imaging. And obviously, the worst thing like about the MRI is, even though it's an open MRI, you have to have a head cage on, and it's really loud. And the head cage is what gets me. Like, I'm really, really scared. But I'm gonna have my mom in the room, and I'm just hoping like that calms me down. It's an hour long, but it's okay. I've got to get through it. I've got to get answers, and hopefully, the next time I make a video, I will be able to finally tell you what's going on. Another thing happening in my life right now is that my boyfriend is leaving the UK in 12 days, and we will be going long distance for 6 weeks, and I'm really, really sad about it. I'm gonna really miss him. And of course, when I get my MRI results, he won't be here to support me, so I'm feeling quite sad about that. And I'm gonna be like a single mom, basically doing everything for both my kids by myself. I mean, my parents help here and there, but I'll be doing the majority by myself, so I'm gonna be tired all the time. One positive thing though is that, he will be coming back after 6 weeks, and I don't know when he's coming back. I told him I didn't want to know the date, I just wanted to know the week. So I had a rough idea, but he could surprise me and just turn up. So I'm really looking forward to it. That'll be exciting, not really knowing and just seeing him. I feel like this video is super boring, but I just have these thoughts that I want to get out. And for some reason, I'm feeling really cold today. My baby has a cold, and I think I might be having a little bit of a cold. So I feel a little shivery and just very, very tired. She's been going through sleep regression and getting up tons and tons at night, breastfeeds all through the night, so I'm completely exhausted. And my elder daughter is at preschool right now, so that's why I'm making this video now. Anyway, um, I've made a couple lifestyle changes recently. One of which is I've quit caffeine. I haven't like 100% quit it. Like I still eat chocolate, and if it naturally occurs in something, that can't be helped really. But I've quit drinking coffee and no energy drinks or anything like that. So I just drink decaf because I felt like the coffee was causing me to crash a lot more during the day, and it was making me wake up feeling unable to function and really tired and groggy and irritable. And I didn't like waking up feeling dependent on it and like I couldn't be okay until I had it. I wanted to wake up with a clear head, so I decided to quit it. And I also read that it can make you look a little less vibrant facially, like it can just cause your skin to look less bright. So I thought I would quit it. I feel like I look so old at the moment. I don't know. Tiredness just makes you look old. I don't know. I'm only 20, but I feel really self-conscious a lot of the time. Like I feel like I'm constantly like staring at my face like, oh my god, things aren't the same, like I'm aging. I'm really, really scared about aging and dying, like, and as soon as I see any signs in my face that I'm aging, I feel really stressed out. Um, I just feel like my eyes, like I'm starting to get these lines, like, I don't know. Um, and another lifestyle change I've made is I've started intermittent fasting for the past week. So I'm only eating between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Um, and I definitely feel a lot better for that in my stomach. Like I feel a lot better. I've lost a bit more weight, so I'm happy about that. Not like trying to lose weight in an unhealthy way, just make simple changes to get healthier. Um, and yeah, it's been super cold here in England. Finally, we're starting to get a bit of sunshine, and I feel like I never thought I had seasonal depression. Like, I always thought I loved winter, but after being in Florida and then coming back here, it was kind of a big change, and I felt like Florida was oppressively hot in the summer, and I couldn't wait to leave. And now I'm here, I'm like, I kind of miss Florida. Um, I think the sunshine definitely puts you in a bit more of a positive mood, and when it's just grey all the time, it makes you feel more depressed, but spring is on its way finally, so that's nice. I do really miss Florida in a lot of ways, but hopefully one day when I'm more financially stable, I can go visit for a few weeks a year. Um, and yeah, another thing going on in my life right now is my elder daughter, Chloe, she's 3. She has sleep apnea to quite a severe extent, and she needs her adenoids taken out. She's mostly deaf and speech impaired. I mean, she can say all the words, she knows all the words she needs to say. When I say speech impaired, I mean she struggles to pronunciate. Pronunciate? I'm not even saying the word properly. But she struggles to pronounce what she wants to say, and it kind of all slurs together, so she's hard to understand, and it's because of the adenoids, which are enlarged. And it's been really stressful trying to get that sorted because the NHS waiting time is like a year, but then to go privately, it's more of a risk to have the surgery because there wouldn't be an on-call doctor after the surgery if there was a complication. So we're trying to get all of that sorted. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. This video is probably like the most boring video I've ever made, but I'm just being real here. Bye.